A stunning rebuke by an Arizona prosecutor now refusing to extradite a murder suspect back to New York City. Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell, who will join us in a moment, announced today that her staff will not be sending 26-year-old Raad Almansoori back to Manhattan. Almansoori is wanted for the killing of 38-year-old Denise Oleas Arancibia inside a Soho hotel room earlier this month. The reason that Mitchell is not agreeing to extradite him, she says it's because of progressive Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg's track record with violent criminals, saying, I think it's safer to keep him here. Can she do that? Almansoori is being held without bail in Arizona on 2 stabbing incidents, stabbing a woman during a carjacking in Phoenix, and another incident occurred in a women's bathroom of a restaurant in Surprise, Arizona. Joining me now is Rachel Mitchell. She's the Maricopa County Attorney who's pushing back on sending him back to New York. Thanks so much for coming on the program. Appreciate it. All right, so look, I'm no fan of Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg. I've been critical of him on a number of fronts here, but there is something that feels like petty politics about this, no?
No, it's not petty politics. This individual, Mr. Almansoori, came into Maricopa County, which I am sworn and elected to protect, and he brutally stabbed 2 women, said that his intent was to kill them, said his intent was to rape them, and these are mandatory prison sentences in Arizona. 1 count alone carries a sentence of 7 to 21 years in prison. And so it's not that we're refusing to extradite, it's simply that we're going to go first. I have him here without bond, meaning he cannot bond out. He cannot post any amount of money to get out of jail, and I believe that that is the best place for him right now.
The Arizona Criminal Code 13/3842 says it is the duty of the governor of this state to have arrested and delivered up to the executive authority of any other state in the United States any person charged in that state with treason, felony, or other crime who has fled from justice and is found in this state. This seems to qualify for that, no?
Well, not when he is also charged here with very serious felonies. It's not uncommon for that to happen, that people commit crimes in various states. And typically the state where they are found goes first. And that's, I am exercising that in this case.
Let me ask you, if DA Alvin Bragg were to say to you, I am telling you I'm going to make sure he doesn't get bond, all right? We've got the murder case. You don't have murder cases. Would you be willing to do what is the norm here, which would be to extradite him?
The norm is not to extradite. The norm is that the person who has him goes first. Now, there may be some exceptions if the crime here would be less serious.
Right.
But the bottom line is he is non-bondable here. We do have extremely serious charges here, and we are going to go first.
I want to give you a chance to respond to the statement from Alvin Bragg. He says it's deeply disturbing that DA Mitchell's playing political games in a murder investigation. In Manhattan, we're serious about New Yorkers' safety, which is why murders are down 24%, shootings are down 38% since DA Bragg took office. New York's murder rate is less than half that of Phoenix, Arizona, because of the hard work of the NYPD and all of our law enforcement partners. It's a slap in the face to them and to the victim in our case to refuse to allow us to seek justice and full accountability for a New Yorker's death. Your response?
My response is I have nothing but the utmost respect for the NYPD as well as victims of crime, but I would point out what we recently saw happen in New York City, which is where illegal immigrants attacked NYPD officers and were allowed to walk out of jail flipping off the camera. And incidentally, 4 of those people ended up in Maricopa County and being taken into custody here. So given that track record, I would dispute what he said otherwise.
But this is a murder case, right? I mean, this is different than a case where someone might bond out. You'd agree with that, right?
I don't know. Here, it's not a situation where he would bond out, but I certainly wouldn't have expected those people to bond out here, and they did.
What's next in the case? So is there going to be, are you expecting a legal challenge to this?
I can't imagine that there would be a legal challenge. I think everybody knows that we're on solid grounds. We're going to proceed with prosecuting Mr. Almansoori for attempted murder, attempted sex assault, aggravated assault, theft of means of transportation, and potentially other charges. And then once that prosecution is done and he's sentenced, then he can go to New York City or wherever else wants to extradite him.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.